How to accelerate your detailing.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is the DIY Detail Podcast. Today we're going to look at different strategies to accelerate your detailing. And no, we're not talking to professionals here, but professionals you need to listen to. But for the home hobbyist, getting the most out of your detailing time that you're spending with your vehicle. We know you like to spend as much time as you can in your garage or your driveway or wherever detailing your car. But sometimes you can get more done in less amount of time and get a better quality result.
People want to know, Ivan, how can I get this done faster? Some people do want to spend 3 hours. It's very meditative to detail your car. We love it. That's why we have this company and this channel. We love educating, Ivan. We also know there's people who don't have a lot of time and they want to get this done and they want to save their car from the scratch pass.
Yeah.
What's the best tip? Let's just start with the most useful tip you've got. How can I make my detailing at home just go faster and be more efficient?
The first thing and the biggest one is organization. Being organized and having things ready to go. So as an example, I've been to different shops doing the detail or the garage audit, and let's just say some are not as organized as others. So having that organization in place, knowing that when you reach here, oh, there it is. There's the pressure washer handle. Here are the towels. Here's my wash bucket. Having everything ready to go. And when you're done the detail, take 5 minutes to put everything away. Put everything back where it belongs. That way the next time you know where to find it. You're not searching for it.
Well, organization is huge. I wonder, thematically, going to all these different garages where you're doing these audits and helping them organize, is there one thing that you feel like they could do better that someone at home can just use as a takeaway and not just like, get more organized?
There's a lot of things, but one of them is reduce the number of products you're using, first of all. Secondly, have those products ready to go. So an example, we're just going to wash the car in the driveway, right? Well, if you have your pressure washer on a shelf, plugged in, the water already going to it, and your hose either rolled up or on a reel or wherever, that you just have to pull it out and start pressure washing, that is going to save you a lot of time, as opposed to getting the pressure washer out, plugging it in, plugging the hose in, doing all of that. Spending that half hour to an hour setting up your pressure washer, getting that nice little setup ready to go is going to save you a lot of time the next time you wash your vehicle and every time you wash your vehicle. The other thing, like I said, reducing the number of products. If you're standing in front of a shelf going, which one am I using today? That takes time. If you have everything ready to go on a cart, the products you wanted to use, that you can just roll out to the driveway. And if you have an angled driveway, you might want to have locking wheels on that one, but roll it out to the driveway and there you go. Everything is ready and you're able to start detailing faster.
Should they have their bucket set up? Should their products be pre-diluted? Like how else can I be efficient in terms of just being able to get cranking on the detail?
Yeah, well, like I mentioned, when you're done today's detail, set yourself up for the next day's detail, meaning your bucket, rinse it out, put the wash media back into it. It can dry in the bucket, no water. And then the next time you just have to add the water, add the soap, and off you go. Or add the rinseless and off you go. But you need to be preparing for the next time. So spending a little, 5-10 minutes at the end of today's detail will make the next detail go that much faster. And if you have a cart that you have a bucket holder on it, even better. Put the bucket in its place, ready to go. Like I said, you just need to add a bit of water, a bit of solution of your choice, and then go to work.
What about towels? Like, how can I best store / get my towels ready for the detail if I'm just trying to prime myself for an efficient car wash experience?
Well, for towels, I like to have them pre-folded, ready to go, and separated by category or what they're used for. Is it an interior towel? Is it an exterior towel? Is it a drying towel? Have them ready to go in a nice closed container. You don't want dust getting in there. And especially if you're in a multi-use garage, meaning you're storing your car in there, the lawnmower might be in there, you're doing some mechanical work, whatever. You want to have those towels covered so that nothing gets on them, and you just need to open the bin, pull the towel out, and you're ready to go.
Okay, Evan, I hear you. So organization is important. Having a plan.
Yeah.
having a plan is important. I guess if I wanted to save the most time on my detail, would I want to go rinseless or incredible suds?
Rinseless by far. But speaking of having a plan, Nick, we had a plan when we first started this channel was to provide education. And this week we had something happen to us that's a lot of fun for us. We reached 50 million views. So 50 million times people have watched our videos. So I just want to take a minute here to thank people for that. It's quite a milestone.
It's wild, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I don't think the human mind can really comprehend a number like that.
No, there's a lot of people that have watched this channel, so we'd like to thank each and every one of you. And if you are watching but you haven't subscribed, maybe hit that subscribe button, because unfortunately, only 40% of the people that watch our channel are actually subscribed. So there's 60% of you out there that subscribe. It'll help you. It'll help us.
And the cool thing about this podcast is we do it every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And we do a live premiere where folks can just chat and ask us questions in the chat. So if you're on that already and you know that, great. If not, please do tune in to our live premieres, and we will be there to answer your questions and your comments. Another thing, if you're watching this live, we are doing a weekend sale to celebrate the 50 million views. I'm just going to leave it at that, but you might want to head on over to DIYdetail.com and see what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly. And the sale is starting now. But
if you're watching this in February of 2027, please comment below if it's 2027 in February. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's probably not a sale going on. So having a plan, Ivan.
Yeah, so having a plan is very important. It's knowing what you're wanting to do. So if you're starting the day off, I just want to wash my car. Great. But if you want to get stuff done, say, okay, I want to wash my car, but I also want to do a wash, clean, seal while I'm there, and I want to clean my interior. So having everything ready to go. So you're going to be doing a wash, clean, and seal. Before you put the water in your bucket, put your wash media in there. Put your decontamination towel in the bucket. Get it ready to go. That way, when you're at that step, you're good. You know that you're going to be using ceramic gloss as your lubrication and your protection with the decontamination towel. So have it on your cart or hook it on the side of your bucket. Have it ready to go. Another thing that a lot of people neglect when organizing is having things set up by category. So meaning you have one shelf for all your interior products. You have one shelf for your protection products. You have one shelf for your exterior products. That way, it's easy to grab and go. It's easy to, instead of searching through this myriad of mixed chemicals, you have all your chemicals organized by strategy.
That sounds complicated, Ivan.
It's actually quite easy. And once you do get that done, it's great. Now, another thing I know, for the professional detailer, the least amount of products you have, the more efficient you will be. For the hobbyist, I know a lot of you like to try and experiment and have fun with different products, and that's part of the hobby. But have your shelf set up where these are my, let's say on the right side of the shelf, this is my go-to product, and then going down in order of importance towards the left side of the shelf. That way, you know that I'm in a rush. I don't want to experiment today. I just want to get my car washed. This is my go-to product. I go to the right side of the shelf and off I go. So that is one way of organizing yourself. And again, the products that you've tried and didn't like, get rid of them. Give them to someone else. Because you don't like it doesn't mean it's a bad product. It just means you didn't like it. So someone else might like it. Find someone to give it to or sell it to. There's Facebook groups on selling used detailing products. Get rid of it if you're not going to use it. Sitting on your shelf is not doing you any good, and it's not doing the product any good, where you could do someone else a favor and hand them a product that they might like.
It feels good to give things away. I mean, sometimes, you appreciate it more if you pay for it.
Yeah.
So it's the balance of like, you want to give it to someone who's going to really appreciate it and not just like be like, oh, cool, because you want them to, I mean, yeah, we're getting into a philosophical discussion. I guess giving without condition is good. So don't expect anything and just give it. But I always appreciate it when someone appreciates the gift.
Oh, definitely. And if you have a young teenager in your entourage that's getting their first car, put together a care kit for them. Give it to them and maybe spend an hour or two with them showing them how to wash their car. If you're into detailing and you like to detail, share that passion with someone else. Share that. And, you can give them a care kit of, okay, here's a couple towels that I didn't really like, but there is still a good towel. And here's a soap and here's a sealant and a wax or whatever, and an interior detailer and a glass cleaner. And you can get started very easily, and you can bring someone else along the path with you, and maybe share some quality time with someone in your family or a friend to help detail their vehicle as well.
Speaking of wax, I'm bummed out. At the time of this recording, we're out of stock. I hate it when we're out of stock on products, Ivan.
Yeah, so do I.
I mean, it is the middle of busy detailing season. I want us to have the products when people are looking for them. If folks, for some reason, if they're looking for one of our products and they can't find it on DIYdetail.com, where else could they look so they don't decide, you know what, I'm going to find another brand? Like, we have distributors, right? Where should they look, Ivan?
Actually, on our website, there's a list or a link that brings you to a category of all our distributors. So wherever you are worldwide, you'll be able to find those distributors. In a lot of places, we have distributors, and when we don't have a distributor, ask your local distributor for DIY. It's not us that is going to bring DIY to a country. It's someone in that country that needs to bring DIY to that country.
There you go. You just have to ask. You never know.
Yep.
These are humans running businesses, and if they hear enough people ask, they might say, you know what? I've seen DIY Detail. They've got 50 million views on YouTube. I think I'd like to bring them to my country.
There you go.
And help people have fun. Hey, so, okay, knowledge is power, Ivan, and there's a ton of research people can do. I also know there's a rabbit hole that never ends, and it can get overwhelming.
Yeah.
How can knowledge help me accelerate my detailing without overwhelming me?
So knowledge, when it comes to YouTube and things like that, there's like you said, a never-ending, very, very deep rabbit hole. But find channels that you like, and find channels that are providing education. And education is not necessarily just product reviews. There's a lot of a lot of channels on reviewing products. But find channels that give you processes and how to do things and how to use the product and why to use a product. That will further you along in your education. The other thing is, that rabbit hole is very deep. So a lot of people get analysis paralysis, or they overthink. And overthinking is a competitive sport in detailing. Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, just get out there and wash your car. And don't worry about everything that could possibly maybe happen in case of. No, just get out there and enjoy it. And once you have your gloved hand in a sudsy bucket of water, moving that legacy sponge across the vehicle, or the cotton candy wash mitt.
Cotton candy wash mitt.
Yeah, you're moving that across the surface. The world just sort of dissolves away, and you're alone with your car, and you're having fun. And
that's so true.
Don't stop to think and worry and what if is a very bad question in this industry. It's led to a lot of people just giving up detailing because that's what they were thinking all the time. Well, what if this wash mitt picks up a little stone somewhere that I didn't see and that I didn't rinse off? What's it going to do to my paint? And they end up driving a dirty car. You're better off driving a dirty car with maybe a little bit of marring or scratching on it.
A clean car, you mean?
Yeah, you're better off driving a clean car that maybe, what if you could have possibly induced a little scratch or something. And if you do, well, guess what? You can learn how to polish, and polishing is fun. And that's another thing. A lot of people restrict themselves to certain activities because they fear not being able to do it. How many times have we seen in our Facebook group people saying, oh, I'm just going to put a sealant on because I don't know how to apply a coating. Well, applying a coating is easier than applying a wax. Nick recently learned this.
Yes. Wax is no joke, Ivan.
Yeah.
Coatings are easy, man. Coatings are simple, easy.
Yeah.
Compared to wax.
And a lot of people, again, they overthink it and they think, well, before I put a coating on, I have to have my paint to be perfect. No, you don't. Your paint just needs to be clean before putting a coating on. If you're satisfied with the look of your paint, you don't need to polish it. You just need to clean it. Now, polishing is a good cleaning step and probably the best cleaning step you can do, but at the same time, it's not a necessity. As long as your surface is clean, has no waxes or sealants on it, you're good to go. And applying a coating is easier than applying a wax. It's just as easy as applying a sealant. Doesn't take any longer, but at the same time, it's your results are going to be phenomenal. They're going to be longer lasting. And yes, maybe you didn't polish the car. Maybe you don't have the best cleanliness to your paint possible, so that coating might not last the advertised amount of time. But you're a hobbyist. You're probably going to want to coat it again next year anyways.
That's true. I've coated my vehicle many times, Ivan.
Yeah.
It's wild. I'm just thinking about what it takes to get the car detailed, and there's so much setup time and decisions. Like, do I get this thing out? Do I get that thing out? I got to make sure this, like, a lot of the time spent is in the setup and breakdown. The actual washing of the car, if you use our method, is very quick. I mean,
Yes.
let's talk about realistically, no BS. How long should it take me to wash a sedan?
A sedan, maybe half an hour. At
Including
most.
wheels, dressing the tires, like let's do the thing.
Yeah, exactly. For myself, I did an F-250 yesterday, and with Sylvie, it took us maybe 15 minutes to wash it, clean it, dry it, do the tires, and ready to drive away.
Yeah. Under an hour for the average enthusiast?
Yeah, under an hour,
Yeah.
very easily. Have fun, enjoy it, and go.
But
from
I think give yourself an hour. Budget for the hour.
Yeah.
And then you won't be disappointed. And there's ways to cut down the time, but it does take time sometimes. There you want to get every panel. Things will come up. You may have to address but an hour is fine. I think a half an hour is like Ivan LaCroix's superpower efficiency. But I think an hour is a reasonable amount of time to budget to get it done. And when you do it more often, you're going to have a better system. If you don't do it very often because you're so in your head about all the things that could go wrong or what you don't have perfect, and you always tell me, just do it.
Yes. Just get out there and do it. And, if you budget an hour and you get it done in half an hour, great. Go for a drive. Or maybe get out the vacuum cleaner and vacuum your interior or dust your interior down. And interiors are another area where people spend way, way too much time. And it comes down to being organized. Interiors, if you're methodical, you're going to save a lot of time and you're going to do a higher quality job. You're going to do a better job when you're methodical. So especially for the interior, have a plan. Know where you're starting, know where you're ending, and know how you're going to get there. So have a roadmap basically laid out. Google, set your Google Maps up for cleaning your interior, meaning you start at point A and you're going to get to point B and eventually C and D and E and go down the line. But having that map laid out, having that roadmap of where I'm starting and how I'm getting to the next point and the next point and the next point is going to make your life a lot easier. And then when you repeat that every week, every 2 weeks, whenever you're cleaning your interior, you're going to get a little faster. You're going to have more fun doing it. It's going to become easier.
Oh yeah, and one thing for the enthusiast out there is get a way to blow your car out. So if you don't have a big air compressor with a Tornador or an air tool or just a blowgun, use a leaf blower. Or now they have all kinds of little handheld blowers that I feel like people are reviewing online that seem like they work great.
Yeah, they do. I recently got one. I did a training in California last week, and the person that was hosting the training had this little blower that's, no bigger than this, and did a phenomenal job of drying the car. So for an interior, that would be great. And, worst case scenario, your vacuum cleaner, you can flip the hose around, blow it out, not inside the car for a minute or two to make sure the hose is nice and clean. And then you can use that as a blower. But yes, some form of moving air is a great way of doing the interior. The other thing is, don't be influenced too much. And by that, I mean, we see online content creators that take a nice little makeup brush and foam the whole interior. You don't need to do that. That is really good for social media. That is good for attracting people's attention. That is not a really efficient way of cleaning your interior. Now, once a year, maybe you might want to do that. But a bit of air, a nice rinseless dampened towel or interior cleaning protect on a towel Go over the towel while it's still damp, dry it with the second towel. Now you've emulsified the dirt, lifted it off the surface, and then you're taking it away when you're taking away that excess humidity.
Yeah, I went to my local car wash, and they don't even have. Maybe I should admit this. They don't even have a gate up for like using their air compressor or their vacuum, so you don't even have to go to the car wash. So you could just use it. So if you want to accelerate your time and efficiency, that might be an option for you. I've been to ones where you have to go through the car wash to get there, but this one's kind of new, and I don't know if they're like, oh, this is a good community. Well, I don't know, but it was like. There were no signs up that said you may not use this unless you wash the car. So you could really accelerate your efficiency. Like they had garbage cans out there. So it's like, oh, I could put my garbage here. That didn't cost me any money. And like they have a free air compressor. I could blow that out. So I just put my headphones on and did a quick blowout and vacuum. You know, just work smarter, not harder, Ivan, because there are ways to get these tools to work in your favor. And have you ever, we get so caught up in it. Have you ever regretted having a cleaner interior or exterior? Like,
no,
even spending 20 minutes doing like an imperfect job. Did you ever regret that?
No. And one thing that can really accelerate your interior cleaning is doing it more often. Same thing with the exterior, but the interior especially. If you wait 6 months to vacuum your floor, you're going to be vacuuming a long time. But if you do it every week or every 2 weeks, it's just going to be a quick vac. Nothing's going to accumulate. If you don't let stuff accumulate in the vehicle, then it makes it easier to clean. A quick dusting of the dash is a lot faster than having to deep clean the dash because you neglected it for 6 months or a year. Another little tip for interiors, and this is one we've mentioned before, but if you have those vent clips, please take them out of your car, put them in the garbage somewhere. Yes, they might impart an odor to your vehicle that you like, but at the same time, they're spreading oil all over your interior. That little, the little liquid you put in there is an oil. It's blowing air through it. It's vaporizing it. It's putting it all through your interior. It's also putting it on you and in your lungs. But apparently, they're safe for us to breathe. But at the same time, that little film is getting everywhere, and it's attracting and holding dust. So your interior is going to get dirtier faster when you use those.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
No. This isn't a deep secret or whatever, but it's just you need to know what you're doing. And if you like a fragrance in your interior, there's Biobombs that they have their little bars that do a great job, and they're not leaching oils everywhere inside your vehicle. And if you're old school, you have the little trees that you can hang from the mirror. We've all seen those. Those actually do a fairly good job if you like the fragrance of, spruce or pine or black ice, I think is one of their popular ones. But anyways, those actually work. And you don't have to hang them from the mirror if you don't like the look of it. You can just throw one under the seat and it'll be fine there as well. But that being said, there's a lot of things that people do on interiors that waste a lot of time. And that is, first of all, not being organized, not cleaning the interior often enough. And, like we mentioned, using those little brushes, and then the vent clips that are, yes, they're imparting a fragrance into your vehicle, but they're also putting oil everywhere in your vehicle, making it harder to clean and making it necessary to clean more often.
Do you think for the exterior, you ought to have 2 buckets?
Yes and no. So let's start with the yes. You need one for the body, one for the wheels. No, you don't need the 2 bucket method. If you have, let's look at 2 different scenarios here. The traditional foam wash. If you have a pressure washer and a foam cannon, you definitely do not need 2 buckets. Now, if you're old school, you don't have a pressure washer, you don't have a hose, you still want to wash with soap and water, it can be done. And, or you don't have a hose foamer, sorry. Basically, the old way of washing a car was you get the car wet, and then you'd grab your wash mitt and start going at the car like that. Not the safest way of doing things, but it's how we used to do it. Then the reason for the second bucket there is you've taken a lot of dirt off the vehicle. Now that dirt you've taken off the vehicle, you need to do something with it. You don't want to put it in your clean wash bucket, so you put it in a rinse bucket. You put your mitt in there, shake it off, maybe hit the grit guard, and then pick up some more soap and bring it to the vehicle. So that's a very old school way of doing it. The modern interpretation, the one that works a little better, is could even be termed a no bucket wash if you wanted, but it's basically you foam the vehicle and you can use a garden hose foamer. They actually, they don't have the thick shaving cream foam of a foam cannon, but they do what they're supposed to do, which means you're putting soap on the vehicle, you're letting it sit for a few minutes, and then you rinse it away. Now you've removed the grit from the vehicle. You just have to deal with the traffic film. Then we take our garden foamer or our foam cannon, foam it on again, and then we can go at it with our wash mitts. And if you have a wash mitt that's, you can actually soak it down with that foamer if you want, do a couple sections, rinse it off with a foamer, and keep going. You don't even need a bucket. But a bucket is a more convenient, faster, easier way of doing it. So a bucket is still a good thing. And then have a bucket for your wheels. Now, if you're rinseless washing, same deal. You pre-spray the rinseless wash on the surface, and you can use a myriad of different applicators. You've seen us use a keg. It's probably behind Nick somewhere, but I don't see it in the image there. But normally it's there somewhere. Yeah. But we use a keg. There are battery-powered sprayers. There's all sorts of different things. You can just use a standard trigger and get it on the vehicle. Once you have the rinseless on the vehicle, again, let it emulsify, let it do its job. And if your vehicle just has dust on it, then yeah, you can start washing there. If you have grit, it's been a couple of weeks since you washed the vehicle, then you'll want to rinse it. We don't say it's a no rinse wash, it's a rinseless wash. You're rinsing less. You rinse it off, apply again, and then have your wash media in your bucket, go over the vehicle, dry it off.
Ivan, I want folks in the comments to comment, like, what saves you time at home? I'm so struck by, even though you have so much experience, like the collective mind, the hive, like how much I just learned from other detailers out there.
100%.
Put in the comments below, like what saves you time? What has been an efficiency hack for you to make your detailing go faster and get better results?
Yeah, definitely. We have the comments in this channel, but also we have a Facebook group that's got 57,000 members now, and it's just a vibrant community of people trying to help each other and wanting to help each other. So, join our Facebook group. The link will be down below. And if you have any questions, you can ask them there. And yes, definitely, if you have an efficiency trick that we haven't mentioned here, by all means, put it in the comments. Help everyone out. We have a lot of people that read and comment on our videos. We love that. Every comment gets answered.
A recent interior video Ivan LaCroix just did, boom, offers a lot of insight, a lot of showing and telling, Ivan. And they can find that video on how to not only clean, but protect your interior right here.
Right there.